Xbox Game Studios have quite a lot of new games in active development right now, and we do know quite a lot about games like Starfield, Forza Motorsport, Hellblade 2, Avowed. But what about games we do know exist? We do know they are in active development still, but we don't really know much about them. Let's talk about these games today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to make a rather unusual video because usually I cover news and information that has been leaked and stuff, but today I want to talk about games that we don't really know much about. I'm talking about Xbox first-party games that we do know exist, but not many people talk about these games because there's just not a lot of information out there. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the production of these games or that there's no information at all. It's just they didn't catch much of attention because like a lot of these smaller studios actually, they don't really talk much about them, I guess. And for the most part, these will or should be new IPs. So it's really difficult to talk about games that we have nothing to base our opinion on, right? I mean, when we talk about sequels, I guess we know what to expect, like Gears 6. We kind of know what to expect of Coalition and Gears 6, I guess. I mean, we still do expect some changes and some, major improvements, but hey, Gears are Gears, right? We know they're not really going to reinvent the wheel with this game, right? But there are actually there's number of projects that some of these Xbox Game Studios do work on, and yeah, they are very interesting projects indeed because there's been some rumors and leaks about them. Okay, so right now, what I really want to do is I'm looking at the Xbox Game Studios list, and I'll just go through some of these studios and what they actually work on. So 343 Industries, I mean, a lot of people got sacked there. They are still working on Halo. That's not really going to change. So, but don't expect anything Halo related, new Halo related anytime soon. Maybe except that Battle Royale Tatanka. So maybe we will actually, I think that we may actually get Tatanka next year, but this is one of those, I guess, secret projects too, so we'll see how that goes. World's Edge, that's Age of Empires. I mean, they've been pretty active and they just keep releasing new game every year, really. Whether that's remastered or a new version, they just keep pumping these games. Coalition, I mean, yes, they are working on Gears 6, so they will not reinvent the wheel. We kind of know what to expect, like, high quality game. That's for sure. There's been some rumors that they might have been working on some smaller projects too, but I've heard some conflicting stories now. Some people say that this side project was cancelled, while other people say that it's still going on. So we don't really know. If anything, for now, I would just expect Gears 6 from Coalition, nothing more. But hey, if they surprised us with some small side project, I would be more than happy to see what that's all about. Compulsion Games. Okay, so this is one of these studios that we don't really know much about or their project really. And I think this studio should get a little bit more attention once they release their game or show their game, because Compulsion, they are apparently working on some story-driven dark game. Some even say that it may be like third-person over-the-shoulder type of game, a little bit more to the horror. I'm sure it's going to be unique because Compulsion have always made these very unique games like We Happy Few or what was the name of that other game? I forgot it. Anyway, so they are very unique studio, and this game is going to be quite unique as well. Now, I'm hoping for a good quality game this time around, and with We Happy Few, they've changed the concept of that game so many times that didn't really played well for this game. But that new project, Compulsion Games, actually hired more people and stuff. They've got more resources, so I would expect some news from Compulsion Games. Also, Phil Spencer was talking about that particular project, that he's quite surprised and pleased, I guess should be the word, with what they're doing there. So I'm really looking forward to some news about their new game. Story-driven, dark, third-person, over-the-shoulder kind of game, apparently. Double Fine. Okay, so Double Fine, they always work on a number of projects. So they released Psychonauts, 2 years ago. So I wouldn't... we may get some smaller project within next year, maybe. They are very creative, that's for sure. I don't expect any big project, big game like Psychonauts type of game anytime soon, but some smaller projects from Double Fine, I'm sure we will actually see something very quick, really quick. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they are actually working on. Xbox Game Studios Publishing, that's third-party developers, really, and they obviously Xbox works with them on some exclusives, so like Stalker 2, Project Dragon, or Contraband. I really do hope that we will actually learn more about that Contraband game very soon. So yeah, they just work with third-party developers to make these Xbox exclusives. The Initiative, that's Perfect Dark. I don't expect any. Well, we may get some news, but I don't think that Perfect Dark is coming out anytime soon. We're probably going to see that game next 2-3 years, in my opinion. They started working on this game as a full production a year ago or something like that, when the Crystal Dynamics got involved. So yeah, we're not really getting a new game from Initiative anytime soon. In Exile, so this is another studio that we really need to focus on in today's video. So they are an RPG kind of company, and they are working on a game, that's a project name really, Project Midnight. So I'm sure you've heard about it, and Jess Corden of Windows Central actually leaked some information on that game a while ago. So apparently they are working on some RPG shooter in a very dark tone, very story-driven, because it's going to be an RPG at the end of the day, and apparently very unique game as well. So, and this is going to be like a AAA production, because back in the days, before Xbox bought them, they were more like a crowd funding their games, smaller games in smaller scope. But this time around, they are going full steam ahead, and they are working on some big game, big RPG. So I actually can't wait to see that. Mojang, Mojang is Mojang, so more Minecraft basically. Ninja Theory, okay, so Hellblade 2, we know quite a lot about this game already. We've seen a number of dev blogs, some gameplay, graphics. This game is coming within next year, in my opinion. So it may be, I think Hellblade 2 is a late 2023 or early 2024 title, in my opinion, right? So I can't wait to see that. But on top of that, they are working on some other projects too, like Project Mara, but we still haven't really heard much about it. I think they are focusing on Hellblade 2 now, and but who knows, maybe we will see some other projects from them soon. Obsidian Entertainment, well, that's Avowed, and that's The Outer Worlds 2 too. So Avowed is probably just like Hellblade 2. I think it's going to be, Avowed will be next year, in my opinion, because I don't think they would release Avowed, an RPG, Skyrim-like RPG, shortly after Starfield. Makes no bloody sense. But release Starfield in September, we know the date already, and then release Avowed in spring of 2024 makes sense. And that would actually be a very cool thing to have when it comes to the first party content from Xbox, right? And I'll talk about it in a minute. So yeah, don't forget Avowed. But The Outer Worlds 2, that's actually very early in development, so don't expect this game anytime soon. Probably, at least next 2-3 years. I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. Playground Games, that's Fable, and I think that we may actually get a Fable update. Fable has been very long in development, and I know that like full-scale production started maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago, because they were actually building the studio to work on that. And yes, that like small team did work on that game for a very long time, like 4 or 5 years. But you know, at first that was just a conceptual kind of work, pre-production stuff. And I think that full production started when they moved to their new office, which was a year, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. So I still don't think Fable is coming out anytime soon. Like Fable is probably 2024, 2025 titles too. So, but I'm really looking forward to see what that's all about. And yeah, Forza Horizon 6 is probably in next 2 years too. So don't expect anything new when it comes to game releasing from Playground Games. They are really, because they released Forza Horizon 5 a year ago, over a year ago. We just got a DLC, and yeah, so Fable is next, probably, I would imagine. Forza Horizon 6 probably going to be a full-scale, a proper next-gen game too. Rare, well, they keep updating Sea of Thieves, but they are also working on Everwild. And there's been some, and Everwild has been in development for a very long time. And I remember first mentions of Everwild, and even some, they did release a gameplay. Well, it wasn't a gameplay, just a trailer for that game like 3 years ago. But apparently that game got rebooted for some reason. There were some issues, and you know, it's not that they started from scratch, but they had to redo a lot of stuff apparently, story-wise, gameplay-wise, and stuff. So, but I would imagine that a lot of stuff were made already. So if that's just a soft reboot, so let's actually steer this game away from this particular thing and let's change things here and there. So maybe Everwild, maybe I'm just speculating here, maybe Everwild 2024 title. What do you think? I do hope so, because I actually do like the style. It reminds me of Zelda a little bit. And yeah, Xbox needs that. I'm not saying it's a Zelda-like game, but when it comes to graphics, it's like, you know, very stylized and cartoony kind of graphics, if you know. Very beautiful, very good looking. At least, you know, the actual trailer, right? Because I don't think that was a proper gameplay. But so Everwild, yeah. So we still don't know much about this game, and we know it's in development. There's been some official communication from Xbox saying that I think they got this game got rebooted, or maybe that was just some unofficial leaks. But that was a while ago, like early last year. So they must have been working on that game for a while. So we'll see how that goes. Turn 10. Well, Forza Motorsport, guys, it's coming out this year, probably October, if I were to guess. So yeah, that's nothing secret really, and this game is very, very close to being released like this year. I can't wait to see a proper next-gen Forza game. Undead Labs. Okay, so this one is uninteresting because they've been working on State of Decay 3. They announced it already. They announced it like over 2 years ago. But we still don't know much about this game, really. We know that it's going to be based on Unreal Engine 5. We kind of know what to expect of State of Decay. I mean, a lot of zombies, teamwork, building bases, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, they actually made State of Decay 2 so much better game now that you know, State of Decay 3, hopefully with extra time and in development and stuff, you know, this game is going to be good out of the gate, because clearly that's very important. So we'll see. All right, so that's the Xbox Game Studios. We still got Bethesda, so we know that Bethesda, well, Starfield, that's coming out later. AlphaDog, I don't know what they're doing. ZeniMax, well, that's just more online games. Like, you know, they are apparently working on some big AAA online game too. Tango Gameworks, well, they released Hi-Fi Rush in January. Also, Deathloop is out. Deathloop, no, sorry, that's the wrong studio. Ghostwire Tokyo is out for Xbox, so I don't think we're going to see anything new from Tango Gameworks anytime soon because they just released these games. Ghostwire Tokyo really last year for PlayStation, Xbox this year, and Hi-Fi Rush for Xbox. So, yeah, don't expect anything new from them anytime soon, in my opinion. But they are hiring a lot of people, so that may be one of these studios that will mix AA and AAA games. So we'll see. Id Software, guys. Well, this is an interesting one because nobody really knows what's going on there. Because last game they released was Doom Eternal, and that was back in 2-3 years ago. Yes, they did release a couple of DLCs, but DLCs is not really a full-scale production of a game, really. Although they've been busy with that for sure, but they must have been working on something new too. So I have nobody knows what that is. Doom Eternal, with DLCs kind of closed the whole trilogy. I mean, I don't know if that's trilogy really. So yeah, I mean, it's one big question mark really. But id Software, they always make great games, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they are all about. Arcane, well, they just released Redfall. Yes, I know, guys. And they are still working on that game. Apparently, they want to fix it. There's some updates coming, needed updates. The other team released Deathloop 2 years ago. Well, a year and a half ago, really. Last year, it came out to Xbox, so I don't think that the other team is ready to show anything new, really. I'm sure that they are working on something, but it's probably very early in development, so don't expect anything new from Arcane anytime soon. Machine Games, well, okay, so this game is actually an interesting one. This studio is interesting one because apparently they are working on that Indiana Jones game, but there's been some rumors that they may be working on some other games too. So Wolfenstein maybe, so I don't know, like Machine Games. I really do hope that they will show Indiana Jones because the last time they announced it, that was like 2 years ago, so it's been a while. So Roundhouse Games, the last studio I want to talk about, they were helping with Redfall, so yeah, sounds like they are more of a support studio right now. There's been some rumors that they are working on some game of their own too, but nothing really is known about it. So they are very talented bunch of guys too, because they made the original Prey. They were called different because I think they've changed their name like 3 times. But yeah, so we'll see what that's all about. So yeah, guys, listen, at the end of the day, it looks like there's really a lot of games in development, and there's actually quite a lot of, I guess, surprises, if you know what I mean. I'm sure that there's still some projects that we never heard of, that have never leaked. Even Phil Spencer did say that there's going to be some nice surprises during the that E3 show. Like if you look at next couple of months, like let's just say, like let's look at the next 12 months. We're going to get Starfield, Forza Motorsport, Hellblade 2, Avowed, Stalker 2, hopefully, but for some reason I'm thinking that this game may actually slip into 2024. Hopefully Contraband. I really do hope that this game will finally come out. And there's probably going to be some other surprises, like Pentiment, for example, like very small titles and stuff. That there's going to be some small games like that as well. So we'll see. But generally speaking, after summer, Xbox is going to be really busy with pumping out new games. So that's very good news, guys. Now, yeah, we may still wonder what about the quality of these games, but I understand that people are down because of the Redfall situation right now and how unfinished and how bad this game is, but it's just one-off. There's been plenty of other games that did score very well and are still very good. So, these things happen. So I'm talking about Redfall. But other than that, I think that Xbox, there's really a lot of stuff to get excited about, and I hope that after that E3 show in June next month, there's going to be even more things to be excited about when it comes to Xbox. So guys, listen, so that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Did I miss any games? Did you hear about any other games in development? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.